What's happening, everybody? We are back, and today we're gonna try and go ahead and get started on building the suspension. Now, I did do this a little bit different just so I can save from downtime and kind of set myself up for success, so I can go ahead and just take my time with this stuff, because like I tell y'all, man, time is extremely hard to come by. So, well, at least even without interruption. So these are my bilstien shocks. So my front and rears. I got my yellow lowering springs from RCE on here. And then what I wound up doing is I found a set of strut assemblies for WRX. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these apart. And so really the only things I kind of need off of these is I really just need the top hats. So I'm gonna need all of this, pretty much all of the hardware and everything on this top section right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compress these, pull off what I need here, and then build these up. So the first thing I want to try and do is I want to make sure that I'm showing you guys all this correct, to try and minimize the bloopers and stuff like that. Like I say, I'm gonna let you guys know what hardships I have. I'm gonna do one of each, and then I'm gonna show y'all exactly what I'm doing to do this. There's plenty of videos doing this all over the internet. Like I said, I just kind of want to do a detail. This is for somebody who just feels intimidated by trying to do something like this. It's not that bad. Now, I was able to go to Harbor Freight and I grabbed me some spring compressors, so hopefully these things are going to work well. So I got to figure out how I need to set these things up to where you can take the tension off of the spring, compress them a little bit to make it easy to get this top off of here. Also, another tool that I'm thinking I'm going to need as well that I bought from Harbor Freight is, grab this out of here, pass-through socket set. So it has everything. I got this from Harbor Freight as well. As you can see, it's got that Pittsburgh name on it, dog. But I got this to aid me in taking these things apart and putting them together. That way then we can have a smooth transition from being lowered to being raised. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and take a look at this and see exactly how I'm going to do this, and then I'll kind of line out how to do it, show you guys step by step how it goes. I want to make sure, like I said, I want to make sure it's a smooth transition from each step, so that I'm not bumbling and all of that stuff. So let me go ahead and knock that out, and then I'll show you guys what I did.
3 hours later.
Oh my God, man, when I tell y'all, this was the hardest thing ever, and I think it's just because of the spring compressors I got. I think it took me a good 30-40 minutes to get this thing off of the rear shocks, because it was so hard trying to line this up, because you can really only get it on one side to a degree. So man, this was just super hard to do, man. But I got the right side stuff done, so that's for the right side. So is that. And so getting it off of here is not that hard at all. It's actually fairly easy. It's just getting it onto the new stuff. Goodness, dude. So let me show you guys what I got here, dog. All right, so man, I had to use pry bars and everything, boy. I done messed up the, I done scratched and scraped up everything, but it don't matter. Screw it. So what we're gonna do here is we got to figure out a couple of good spots to put the spring compressors on. So I'm choosing here. It's got these little locks you put on here right there, and then we can tighten this one side on. There we go. And snug and on there. And then we come over here to the other side here, where I don't really know where the heck. I'm gonna have to go close on this side. So what I'm gonna wind up doing is moving this one. Now, both of those guys are somewhat taken off. Let me see. With my spring looking like it's still kind of on there. So let's tighten this up a little bit more. All right. All right. That should be good enough. Now, our through socket set pass through. Pop our little cap off here. Exposing that guy. And here's my Allen. That's the wrong size. All right, so that one is it's a 6 millimeter. And this socket right here is a 17. Let me hit it with the impact real quick. Yep, there we go. 17. Kind of broke it loose a little bit. Let's see if we can, let's see how we fare with it this time. I'm trying to loosen it. There we go. Break it loose. All right, that's it. Take it out by hand now. All right, take that out, put that guy to the side, take the washer off here, and then the little plate here. And there we go. And that's pretty much all we need off of here. So now, all we gotta do is just take this off. We're not gonna be able to use those because this whole shaft is super thick. So the bump stop that came with the springs are just for the rears. I'll take this off here, show you guys. See, can't fit a bump stop on there, don't even need it. So let's put that back on there. Okay, cool. So now all we need to do, put our spring in. And we set it to where it'll rest right in this little galley right here. So now that's in there. And the next thing we need to do is compress the spring. So figuring out a good spot to get this in. It's going to be fairly difficult here. All right, so there we go. I can't put no torque wrench in there, but everything is where it should be. It's lined up. This hole is lined up with this hole. It's lined up with this. This is best I can get it. And now we just got to put the cap on here. And this one is done. Now, this time to do the hard one, which is going to be the rear strut, because god dang it, this is gonna be a nightmare. But you guys are gonna see everything I'm doing. All right, so now it's time to get this in. So this bump stop right here, we're gonna go ahead and put that on the strut here. All right. It's there, and we can wait for put that on there. That's that and that. All right, so now let's get this old spring off, which on these is gonna be, well, at least on the stock one, it's kind of easy. Let me see here. That should be good enough, and it is. So now we can get this off of here. Alrighty, take our nut off and this top portion. All right, so we got that off, and that's pretty much, oh, besides this dust cover, we do need this dust cover. So let's get the spring compressor off of here. All right, and all we need is this dust cover, and this guy can sit over to the side. Now, we can put our dust cover on our new strut, and then let's put this guy on here. And now what we're gonna do here is we need to ride him until there you go, he's gonna stop right there. So that's where we need to be. So technically we need to put our spring compressor on this side and that side. I'm gonna see if I can strategically do this thing a little bit better this go around. All right, let's go. All right, let's see if I can get some better results on this one. Probably not. Well, we got that and that right there. So let's see where our, this is where our spring, that's where that needs to go. Okay, it's there and there. The most difficult part about all this is going to be putting it back together. I mean, not putting it back together, but taking it apart, taking these spring compressors off. That's what I wrestle with the most. Now, how am I gonna get this off of here?
20 minutes later.
All right, y'all, so let me let y'all know what I had to do, man. God dog it. I had to do some pretty sketch stuff. So you see this here? I had to unscrew this, flip this upside down just to get this underneath here enough to where I can balance this out to where I can get it in and out of there fairly easily. There we go. Now all I gotta do is get this one off. And I had to do this bad boy, but I had to do this the Flintstone way, boy. I had to use a wrench on this thing because it was in such a tight angle I couldn't get the impact on there. All right, and that right there is the other side done. Goodness. All right, that guy's tight. So there we go. Man, I tell you, this was this was hard, but it was more frustrating than a hard install. But I got them all done. Yeah, this is for it. I'm gonna have to clean these up a little bit. Oh boy. This is for my right side of the car. And this one right here is for the left side. Now, there's some other stuff I'm gonna have to figure out here when I got this stuff in the package. it didn't come with all of the little pieces. There's a little zip tie thing right here. This is supposed for me to put my speed sensor at. It's supposed to go on there, but it only came with one for some reason. Maybe I'll recheck the box, but just in case, I did get these. This is the same size as that, the same length, so I can still use this and let it sit on the back of there like that. So I do have something I can use. Went and bought those. But these are done. I'm gonna clean these up a little bit. That's kind of all I got for y'all on this one, man. I'm so frustrated and really pissed off because of how hard this was. And it was really just these spring compressors that I got. Not the greatest ones you could get. Oh boy, excuse me. But got it done. The suspension is built. Now all I got to do is put them on the car. But before I put these things on the car, one thing that I do want to do is I want to do a before drive and after drive. So I believe the next video y'all gonna see is gonna be me driving this thing on this road that I found on the other side of town. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna drive that, bring the car, we're gonna do the drive. After the drive, we'll install the suspension. Then we're gonna go back out. Well, we're gonna get an alignment and all that. Then we're gonna go back out, drive it again, and then I'm gonna try and do basically before and after to see how this thing feels and see what the difference is, and see, hopefully it's, you know, it's gonna be exactly what I want, hopefully. But all right, y'all, so the reason why I picked just to do lowering springs instead of coilovers, really because the last car I did, which was my Civic, I had coilovers on that thing. And the reason why usually you would get coilovers, I mean, yeah, they got the dampening and all of that stuff, but like I'm looking for more of a OEM plus type situation. So I'm not going to be adjusting the height on the car. Really not at all. I'm gonna set it, and wherever it is, it's just gonna be there. This is gonna be a mild lowering just because of what I got to deal with my driveway, which hopefully that does not mess me up too much. But like I say, I got some plans for that just in case that is the issue. But I wanted to go with the springs just because, you know, I wanted an OEM plus feel and not really interested in all of the other stuff. I mean, maybe later on down the road, maybe I get some coilovers, but for right now, these are done. So that's kind of the main reason why I wanted to do these. So be a little different, lower it first, and then later on down the road, if I do feel like I want to do the coilovers, I can actually do that too. But that's what I got for y'all on this video, man. Appreciate y'all if y'all made it this far in the video. Do make sure that you guys like and subscribe and hit that bell notification to also get notified whenever I put out a video. And until that next video, fam, peace.